This is CBN NewsWatch.
Thank you so much for joining us for CBN NewsWatch. I'm Ephraim Graham. We begin this half hour in the Middle East, where Israeli Defense Forces are preparing to move into Rafah, the last major stronghold of Hamas in Gaza. Meanwhile, Israel is still involved with intense fighting with Hezbollah. Middle East Bureau Chief Chris Mitchell has more now from Jerusalem.
Israel is set to go ahead with its plans to take out Hamas in Rafah, despite the disapproval of the Biden administration. Israel is setting up thousands of tents before the military action to provide a sanctuary to keep civilians out of harm's way. The operation also aims to rescue the remaining hostages.
133 hostages are still being held by Hamas in Gaza for over 200 days in inhumane conditions. Until Hamas releases our hostages, the IDF will continue to pursue Hamas everywhere in Gaza. This is an urgent call for action. We will leave no stone unturned in our efforts to find our hostages.
President Biden and the leaders of 17 other nations with hostages in the hands of Hamas have issued a joint statement. It calls on Hamas to accept a ceasefire deal that would see the hostages freed. And on Israel's northern border, the IDF is involved in significant battles with Hezbollah. This week, Israel hit Hezbollah with dozens of airstrikes. Israel's defense minister says over the course of the war, Israel has killed many of Hezbollah's top people.
Half of the Hezbollah commanders in southern Lebanon have been eliminated. These are the people who were responsible for the offensive actions, the will to harm the citizens of the State of Israel.
In the U.S., administrators are still dealing with the pro-Palestinian protests on college campuses, which are sometimes anti-Semitic and pro-Hamas. One driving factor in young people's anti-Israel sentiment appears to be online videos like those on TikTok. Virginia Senator Mark Warner spoke with CBN News about how those posts overwhelmingly favor the Palestinians.
There's been independent analysis done that shows on TikTok the amount of pro-Palestinian posts are 54-1 over pro-Israel posts. Now, acknowledge American youth might be split 80-20 pro-Palestinian, but they're not split 54-1.
But Christians are showing their support for Israel. Worship leader Sean Foyt and other Christians gathered to march near the Columbia University campus Thursday evening. Foyt told CBN's Billy Hollowell they chose that location because that's where the campus protest movement started before spreading across the country.
So we want to go to the heart of where this all began and say enough is enough. We are rising up. We're coming to bring the light. We're coming to say we're not going to be pushed around, and we're going to join with our Jewish brothers and sisters.
Chris joins us now from Jerusalem. So, Chris, what are the reactions from those in Jerusalem as it pertains to this recent surge in anti-Semitism, especially here in the U.S.?
Well, first of all, Ephraim, they're heartened by groups like that, by Sean Foyt. I saw Eric Metaxas there to support Israel during this time and the Jewish people. Otherwise, there's really shock and alarm about this. I talked with a former student from Columbia University, and she doesn't recognize the school she went to. On the U.S. side, New England Patriot owner Robert Kraft is stopping funding to Columbia. I think, when they hear some of these epitaphs like burn Tel Aviv to the ground, Hamas, we love you, we support Hamas's fight, that really is kind of a shocking thing here in Israel. People have a collective memory about the Holocaust. Many people have grandparents or, some relatives that were killed in the Holocaust. So they feel like it's almost like Nazi Germany in 1938. And when you hear these chants for terrorism in the streets of New York City and campuses around the country.
As you reported, Israel is planning to take out Hamas in Rafah. The U.S. is not in agreement. Now there is word Secretary of State Blinken is planning a visit. What can we expect from this meeting as it relates to Rafah?
Well, Ephraim, he's expected Tuesday. That'll be at the end of the Passover holiday. He wants to make sure there's a place for Gazans in Rafah to go before the operation begins. I'm sure he wants to go over the plans of that operation. Some people wonder if there was a quid pro quo between the U.S. and Israel so that Israel would do a smaller attack on Iran, exchange for some sort of a green light by the U.S. into Rafah. But I would also say that some people take a deep breath when Blinken comes here to Israel. The reason for that is many people feel the Biden administration, since the beginning of the war, has really turned its back on Israel. I know recently there was a group, American Christians for Leaders. I know that's in the U.S., but they epitomize what some people feel here in Israel. They sent a letter to President Biden where, you know, they believe the U.S. is holding Israel responsible for civilian casualties when Hamas is really ordering them and to stay and be human shields. Also accusing Israel of blocking aid when Hamas commandeers that aid. And also they abandoned Israel at the UN Security Council a couple of weeks ago. So that's sort of some of the sentiment here in Israel when Antony Blinken comes here to pay a visit.
Chris, how is Israel responding to the United States and 17 other countries appeal to Hamas for the release of the remaining hostages?
Well, I think in Israel, some people are saying, what took you so long? It's 200 days after October 7th. You know, citizens from 17 nations are captive right now by Hamas. And yet the weight of negotiations really fallen on Israel. They want people to put pressure, these nations, to put pressure on Qatar. You know, this is the one that really is mediating, but also a supporter of Hamas. And especially they want the U.S. To put more emphasis on those 8 American hostages that are still in captivity.
Chris, what can we expect this evening on Jerusalem Dateline?
Well, we'll have an update story on the latest. We also have an excerpt from a powerful interview that aired yesterday on the 700 Club with Gordon Robertson and a survivor of October 7th. We'll have an interview as well with Rachel Goldberg. She's a mother of one hostage. We'll have analysis with John Waggy about the hostage situation. And finally, we're going to have a video, 2 stories on the priestly blessing at the Western Wall during the Passover holiday, and also a Levitical choir that goes back 2,000 years.
All right, Chris Mitchell from Jerusalem, thanks as always for your insight. Stay safe and know that we here are praying for you and our entire staff there in Israel. I want to remind you at home, you can see the latest from Jerusalem Dateline this evening on the CBN News Channel. It begins at 8 Eastern. You can also watch it on the CBN News app, or you can watch it on YouTube. Back here at home, a blockbuster case before the High Court. An attorney for Donald Trump tried to convince the justices the former president cannot be criminally prosecuted for any of his official acts while in office. The court's decision will determine whether and when they can separate Trump trials can go forward. The justice's decision will also be a major ruling on the scope of presidential power. Washington correspondent Caitlin Burke is on this story.
The focus of the justice's questions to Trump's lawyer centered around how to make a distinction between private and official actions taken while in office.
In the special counsel's brief on pages 46 and 47, he urges us, even if we were to decide or assume that there was some sort of immunity for official acts, that there were sufficient private acts in the indictment for the case to go back and the trial to begin immediately.
The official stuff has to be expunged completely from the indictment before the case can go forward.
If you expunge the official part from the indictment, how do you, I mean, that's like a one-legged stool, right? I mean, giving somebody money isn't bribery unless you get something in exchange.
On the question of immunity, Justice Sonia Sotomayor pointed out that the Founding Fathers considered including this protection for presidents and decided against it.
They had state constitutions that granted some criminal immunity to governors, and yet they didn't take it up. Instead, they pass an impeachment clause that basically says you can't remove the president from office except by a trial in the Senate, but you can impeach him after. So, or you can impose criminal liability.
Michael Dreeben, the attorney for the Justice Department, expanded on that same argument.
The framers knew too well the dangers of a king who could do no wrong.
They therefore devised a system to check abuses of power, especially the use of official power for private gain.
Dreeben argued the president doesn't need absolute immunity because layers of protections and legal safeguards are already in place.
The existing system is a carefully balanced framework. It protects the president, but not at the high constitutional cost of blanket criminal immunity. That has been the understanding of every president from the framing through Watergate and up to today.
Conservative justices questioned whether, without some form of immunity, existing safeguards would truly protect a president against maliciously motivated prosecutors.
The vast majority of attorneys general and Justice Department attorneys are honorable people, and they take their professional ethical responsibilities seriously. But there have been exceptions, right? Both among attorneys general and among federal prosecutors.
We are not endorsing a regime that we think would expose former presidents to criminal prosecution in bad faith, for political animus, without adequate evidence. A politically driven prosecution would violate the Constitution.
It's unclear when a decision will come down on this case, but it will likely be end of June, early July. Caitlin Burke, CBN News, Washington.
Coming up, see the risk of the push for clean energy poses to coastal communities and marine life. Stay with us. You're watching CBN News Watch. Welcome back to CBN News Watch. As the push for clean energy gains momentum, there are warning signs of unintended consequences. One case in point, the risks offshore wind farms can pose to coastal communities and marine life. CBN's Brody Carter reports on the potential downsides of this green solution.
About 27 miles off the Atlantic coast here in Virginia Beach, the nation's largest wind farm is currently under construction. Pretty soon, that beautiful view will be overtaken by roughly 200 wind turbines, which is something neighbors tell me Dominion Energy allegedly lied to them about when first pitching the project.
They lied. That's all there is to it. They lied.
Neighbors living close to work along the coastline say they had no idea they would suffer from wind farm construction.
It's literally making us crazy.
This is torture to me. I have been tortured nonstop for 3 weeks or more. I am literally a human tuning fork.
Neighbors say their homes are suffering as well due to cracked foundations.
For about 4 months, we've been experiencing our house shaking, loud noise. We've been woken up at night.
There are going to be frustrations, and that's why we want to have meetings like this for the community to come out and share those frustrations with us and figure out a way to move forward.
Construction will continue for several months, leading up to the assembly of some 200 turbines in the Atlantic. This is one of 6 projects approved by the Biden administration. The U.S. plans to build upwards of 190 wind farms nationwide across every coastline, including plans to build turbines in the Great Lakes.
Add to the top of that, we are really concerned about tourism and property values.
Joe Bourne lives in Sandbridge Beach area and keeps a close eye on this Dominion project. That's because he wants neighbors to know about a similar project proposed for his neighborhood that would stretch to Kitty Hawk, North Carolina.
When you take these offshore, even 27 miles, they are visible. On a clear day, you can see them spinning.
From Maine to South Carolina, the Energy Department has marked off vast areas of open ocean for future offshore wind developments. It plans to bring power generated offshore back to land through major port cities. Virginia Beach would act as the main hub. As the industry booms, it faces significant legal challenges.
Now, it's claimed that no whales are being killed by the activity so far, even though a record number of whales are washing up on shore.
Environmentalist H. Sterling Burnett is with the Heartland Institute, an organization suing federal agencies behind the Virginia offshore wind project for threatening endangered whales.
They want to plant 176 turbines sunk into the earth right in their migration route.
This comes as the East Coast sees a spike in suspicious whale deaths. At least a dozen whales have died on Atlantic coast beaches since November. Dominion Energy maintains its project is not responsible.
I think now is the time to pause. Let's look at the impact of this one project before we make certainly any decisions on any further projects.
In Florida, lawmakers passed a bill that bans all future wind turbines offshore and on land within a mile of the coast. The Senate, which sponsored the bill, says it aims to protect wildlife and prevent noise. This comes as Virginia Beach residents express concerns their voices weren't heard during the approval process for the nation's largest wind farm project. Reporting in Virginia Beach, Brody Carter, CBN News.
Still ahead, it's a true story of faith and perseverance from a family who moved from Australia to America to begin anew. With a first look at the film of Unsung Hero, we've got that for you right after this. Welcome back to CBN News Watch. We've got a first look for you at the new film premiering this weekend. It's called Unsung Hero, and it's the true story of the Smallbone family as they navigate the struggles of life, but faith helps them through.
On my last tour back home, I lost a lot of money.
Okay, stay close. Let's go. However you guys feel about being here, we need to pray for everything that we need.
David, take me back. What do you remember most about navigating to America?
How y'all doing?
Are y'all from England?
Australia. Australia. Wish I had an accent.
So I'm broken. I'm shaking in my boots for 2 years when we arrived here because I was having trouble putting food on the table. She loved me, didn't criticize me, and had she criticized me, I would have had a nervous breakdown because my self-worth is an all-time low. That touched me in a deep place. And you've been married for a while, and it made our marriage stronger.
There's no food, and we're almost out of money. We need to make some changes. Kids, we need your help. This is everything we have.
I'm very grateful. I've seen the movie. I've gone out and helped do promotion and been interviewed after it, and seen it probably 17, 18 times. It makes me cry every time, and part of it is because this woman has loved me unconditionally, and we saw the church in action. The church put food on the table for us. So I find myself at 14, a lover of the church, because when I couldn't do anything, the church loved on us.
Trigger's getting other folks to see it.
Does anybody really care what a 16-year-old girl thinks about God?
I'm trying to protect her, and it will never be enough.
Helen, what would you say was the darkest point in the story thus far?
Good question. I think probably the darkest point was when we first came to America. David did actually have a job that he came for. And about 2 months after we were here, he lost that job. And I think that was probably just feeling like we're now on the other side of the world. We're on our own. We have few friends. We have no family. We have no nest egg that we can rely on. Now we've lost the job. Oh my goodness, this is what's going to happen now.
So you guys come here not realizing the musical talent in the family?
We sort of did. So there was confirmation from outside coming in. So we were aware somewhat of her talent. I think both of us were probably a little gun shy about having, like wanting her to be an artist.
Yeah.
Dad, I wrote a song. Thought maybe we could ask for an audition.
Oh, that's great, honey. Let's take it one step at a time.
I think your dad has the standout line of the film. At least it stands out for me. I still hear it today.
Yeah.
Your family is not in the way. Your family is the way.
Yeah.
Tell me about the moment you recognize, both of you, you look and say, God has given us the way. Here they are.
She's been given a beautiful voice. It's a miracle.
She's a special one, son. Your family, they're not in the way. They are the way.
I've been very thrilled that that statement is a standout statement of the movie. The two standout statements are, your family's not in the way, your family is the way. And then Mother Teresa quote right at the end that says, if you want to change the world, go home and love your family. So the movie is very much promoting family.
It takes a lot to live out your dream. Hard work and sacrifice.
And here you got a Hollywood company celebrating marriage, celebrating this wonderful lady. And who would have thought? Who would have thought that? And they're putting it into 2,000 theaters. They're putting a lot of marketing dollars into it. And at the end of the day, it's promoting Jesus and family.
Yeah.
In the game of life,
exciting.
as you know, there's nothing better.
Yeah.
But look around you. Your family, your faith. That's what makes you rich in life.
The fact that it's connecting with people, both Christians and non-Christians, that gladdens my heart.
It's going to be dangerous and scary. And giving up, giving in, it's not an option.
Whatever your dream is, I know you can achieve it.
Please welcome my big sister.
My dream is to be like you.
That's the musical backstory of Rebecca St. James and For King and Country. The film is called Unsung Hero. It is showing now in theaters everywhere. Coming up, it's the story of kindness that paid off in a big way. Stay with us. You're watching CBN News Watch. Welcome back to CBN News Watch. It's a story of kindness. Last month, 9-year-old Kelvin Ellis took a break from his dad's eye doctor's appointment and spotted a man outside a coffee shop. That man was Matthew Busbis, and he was taking a moment to pray while waiting for his coffee. Ellis thought Busbis was homeless, so he offered him $1. Not only is Busbis not homeless, he's actually a multimillionaire. He turned the good deed around, buying Ellis breakfast, then giving his new friend a shopping spree in his own store. Busbis says Ellis's act of kindness speaks volumes for his character. Time now for your Friday Faithful. Today I want to leave you with this thought as we wrap another week together. Miracles are ordinary for our extraordinary God. They are what he does, and a miracle is who he is. In fact, a miracle is what you are. You are his masterpiece. Hold fast to this truth and walk through the day knowing it is the truth. Well, that will do it for this edition of CBN News Watch. I want to remind you, you can always find more of our news programs on the CBN News Channel. You can find them there at any time as well as online. That address is cbnnews.com. Take a moment. Let us know what you think about the stories you've seen here today or any day. You can email us, newswatch@cbn.com. And of course, you can always reach out and touch us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We love hearing from you. Make it a fabulous Friday. Have yourself a wonderful weekend, and we look forward to seeing you right back here, same time, come Monday. Goodbye and God bless.